Hi! So, as promised in my last video, I'm going to do some recommendations / reviews on Good Omens fanfics. And what better way to start this than with one of the craziest fics to have ever appeared on the infamous AO3 website. This is The Trouble with Being a Demon by VerdantVulpus. So, this fic is a work in progress. So far it has 21 chapters, and according to the chapter counter, there are only 4 chapters left on this. So, it is slowly nearing completion. Yeah, though I am so stoked to read how this fic will end, the day that the 25th chapter is going to be posted is going to be a sad day. Because I very much don't want this one to end. It's just so good! A note of warning though, if you are under 18, you might want to skip this video because this fic is very explicitly rated. Don't say I didn't warn you. So this story begins where the TV show has left off. Armageddon just didn't happen and Crowley and Aziraphale go back to the bookshop for a drink. Then kissing happens, you know, standard issue fanfic material. Thing is, Aziraphale was the one initiating the kiss, and Crowley, being an idiot and all, responds to the worst way possible. He just panics and bolts out the door. So he's gone back to his apartment and he's utterly confused and in full gay panic mode, and then someone else suddenly enters his apartment like he owns the place. Confusion just skyrockets as the intruder turns out to be Crowley himself. Just another version of him, who is apparently a bit shorter and has black hair instead of red, and yeah, you guessed it right. That's the book version of Crowley who just entered the scene, and the demon is now face to face with himself. So that already sums up the main thing of what this fic is. It's a crossover episode where the book universe and the TV universe of Good Omens come together and have a foursome. Because yeah, that happens at some point. For convenience, in the story, book Crowley is called Anthony and book Aziraphale is shortened to Zira, which I think is a very smart move from the author on how to keep them apart. So Anthony, book Crowley, sees TV Crowley in utter panic and is like, hey, where's the fire? What's the panic about? And Crowley tells him like, yeah, I just got kissed by Aziraphale and I didn't expect that to happen. And yeah, Anthony kind of quickly puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that in this universe, the ineffable couple is not yet a couple. So he goes on to explain like, yeah, there's really no need to panic over a kiss because back in my universe, the whole apocalypse happened like 30 years ago, and Zira and I have been openly in love ever since, and better yet, we're married. So yeah, hearing all that, Crowley just damn near discorporates in gay panic, and Anthony just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, look, you clearly have a few issues that you need to work out, and you need to learn that loving Aziraphale is a good thing, and you need to learn how to handle that. So he just, yeah, straight up kidnaps Crowley back to his universe. Somehow, that's possible. And yeah, he's planning to teach him a thing or two. So once there, Crowley meets up with Anthony's hubby, Aziraphale, Zira, and is completely baffled just finding them in a happy marriage that has apparently lasted for 3 decades already. But yeah, now he's stuck in this universe, and his own Aziraphale is not with him, and he starts worrying on how the hell he's ever gonna get back to his own timeline. But yeah, no worries there, because somehow the married couple comes up with a plan to get Aziraphale on their side of the universe. And so that happens, and they also tell him like, look, you both have a long way to go before you're on our level of trusting each other, and you both are idiots, and you both need therapy and on how to deal with this, and we're gonna help you guys, and we're gonna do that with copious amounts of sex. And when I say sex, there's a whole lot of that going on in this fic, and in ways I never even imagined or even knew existed. According to VerdantVulpus, sex therapy is a thing, and it is as weird and wonderful and borderline disturbing as it sounds. Even when you paint a picture in your head on how weird it can possibly be, believe me, you're not even close to imagining the shit that is painted in this fic. But it's not necessarily weird sex in a cream cheese kind of fashion. Oh god, I said the cream cheese thing. I'm sorry I brought that up. It's just disclaimer, this is not cream cheese levels of weird. I just needed to get that out there. Yeah, besides the sex in this fic being very unorthodox, to say the least, it is laced throughout with so much fluff and so much love. Like, the married pair in this story really show how far you can go sex-wise when the love and the trust in each other is just right, and that's exactly what they're trying to teach TV, Assie, and Crowley. And it's a lot of sex. And not only with just between the couples, but also with each other. Like Crowley versus Crowley and Crowley versus Book Sarah and all the other options. Yeah, it's all there. And it's all explored in great detail, and it's actually surprisingly kind of nice. So yeah, sex therapy is a thing in this fic, and let's say it's not exactly romantic. Better yet, there's like this whole chapter where sex therapy happens, and the chapter is literally and very aptly titled Weird. That's just the title, the name of the chapter. And yeah, that kind of sums up the whole experience. It also doesn't really paint the marriage between Zira and Anthony as picture perfect. And that's something that Crowley finds out and is very intrigued by. Because he thought that once he was brave enough to tell Aziraphale that he loves him, all would be well and all would be great and dreamlike and perfect. But the book couple show him that despite the level of trust and love they have with each other, and have developed over the years, they also have like their share of issues, and they also have things to work out, but their benefit is that they have 30 years worth of love and marriage on their side. And that is actually the key of what they're trying to teach Crowley and Aziraphale, that if they learn how to love each other, they can conquer anything. But as it goes, especially with Crowley, he's just an idiot and a hard learner. And so the way in which the married boys try to teaching these things can get quite, yeah, out there. There's not only just sex going on, like the whole subject of meeting yourself from another dimension, being the obvious mindfuck that it is just perfectly fleshed out. And the whole marriage counseling is actually very, very deep and very profound. There are also scenes that are so funny where the demons just get high as a kite on pine resin, which is kind of like catnip for demons. More like quaaludes, actually. And the hilarity that follows is just... it's golden. I have been literally bent over laughing till my cheeks hurt about this fic and all the shenanigans that these guys get themselves in. And aside from all the smut, this is first and foremost one of the funniest things I've ever read. Not to mention the most imaginative and creative and shameless and horny. I really had some really confusing but awesome lady bonus over this fic. No shame! The way that VerdantVulpus writes is also really the source of all my envy. Like, nothing about this fic, although it's weird and outlandish topics, comes across as awkward or forced or held back. It's just... yeah, sure, sex, drugs, bondage, food fights, it's all in the daily life of a couple of supernatural entities who are married and each other's clone, and sure, and that's a totally normal thing to write about, I guess? The story just flows so naturally, despite having the most bizarre scenes and twists and turns, but it's all so wonderfully thought out and planned, and I actually really want to know, dear VerdantVulpus, what the fuck is going on in your head while you write this? Like, were you actually smoking pine resin when you wrote this? Like, what is that what this has done to you? If so, I want to have a whiff of that. All in all, I'm just gonna leave a link to the fic in the description down below. If you haven't indulged yourself on the weirdness yet, I strongly suggest that you do. Again, only if you're over 18, because like I said, shit gets really steamy. And I thank you all again for fan ranting along with me. This whole fandom is just, it's giving me life. I can't stress enough how fantastic this fandom is, and yeah, I'll be back with more fic reviews in the future. I got a whole bunch of them planned, so click that subscribe button and don't forget to give the author of this fic a lot of love as well. I really can't wait on the last 4 chapters. I'm so curious. This fic is so good. In the meantime, everybody stay sane, stay safe, and I love you all. Bye.